Welcome to Paddling Adventures Radio. I'm Sean Rowley, and with me is Derek Specht.
Hello.
Derek, what's up?
Not much, man. Not much. It's just I've been noticing a lot lately. I think people are typical cabin fever. Although cabin fever seems to be more heightened when there's a lot of snow. Mm-hmm. But there are people all around us because we're so close to lake. We don't get snow really.
Not anymore.
Not in the current climate. But I've noticed that a lot of people are posting about the Toronto Outdoor Show.
Yeah,
which is coming up, but it's not coming up that quick. When's the date of it?
It's 3 weeks away. Just over 3 weeks away. 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, 3.5 weeks away.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of people are posting about it. And it's like, well, a lot of people are really excited about outdoor camping stuff and whatever, right?
Summer.
Yeah.
Spring and summer.
This winter has been confusing if you live, near Lake Ontario or near any of the lakes. Really, it's the climate is we're very.
It sucks. Just say that.
Yeah,
it sucks. The weather sucks. The climate sucks. Gone are the days of losing your boot when you jump into the snow.
Yeah, I know.
And then pull your foot back out and your boot's gone. Well, remember the good old days of Snowmageddon and the ice storm? Those were the good old days. Yeah. We had to walk uphill in the snow both ways to get nowhere.
Yeah, I don't even have to wear a toque into work. I'm basically wearing a 3-season jacket to and from work all the time.
There's days where I look outside and the temperature and what the temperature is going to be, and I'm doing everything in my power not to wear shorts. I mean, it's about freezing.
I can remember like 10, 12, 15 years ago, we used to get so much snow that partway through February, I'd have to get out in snowshoes and tromp down my front lawn because I was having trouble throwing the snow that high.
Right.
So I had to crush down my front lawn of pile of snow.
I brought my snowshoes to work one day and let some guy from South America try them.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'd never used them before. So yeah. Gone are the good old days. Remember when we used to be able to use our snowblowers we bought?
I know.
Right?
I know.
I wonder if maybe we used up our allotment of snow. You only get so much over the decade.
Yeah.
Over the 100 years, you only get so much snow, and you used it up by 1989. And then it just dwindled down to the 2000s.
Yeah.
And now it's like when you eat toast, there's those crumbs on the counter that you're just brushing off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we get now.
Exactly.
Yeah, this isn't weather. This is toast crumbs.
You sweep it off into your hand? I just sweep it off onto the floor.
Really?
No.
Makes it easier for the dog to eat when I have it in my hand.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, what are you, a bachelor? Oh, hey, we went to... Do you know the log driver's waltz?
Yes, Siobhan played that the other morning. It's like, that came up on your phone, did it? She goes, yeah, it just showed up.
So, yeah, if you want to see the log driver's waltz, you can go to the National Film Board of Canada and just type that in. It's a cartoon thing of this guy
going down. It's on YouTube as well.
Is it on YouTube too? Yeah, I guess it would be, wouldn't it? We were at the Royal Ontario Museum and the Art Gallery of Ontario this weekend. And we hit the Group of 7 section, and there was a bunch of
art,
Tom Thompson stuff. Yeah, there was art there. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Boggles my mind. Never seen so much art in one spot as in the Art Gallery of Ontario. And there's a whole bunch of stuff like log running and like the logs and stuff like that in the rivers and stuff. And I'm sitting there, and I just realized that I'm sitting there whistling the log driver's waltz while looking at all of these. And I'm like, wait, what? Yeah. And, not disturbing anybody, but they're probably all going, I know that tune. So, yeah, we went there and checked that out. If you get the chance to see the wildlife photographer of the year exhibit, go see it. There's some pretty neat photos there.
I saw that award come out with the person... Oh, who was it that won this year in Canada? Calgary or something?
Well, it's all over the world, right?
I know, but there's a Canadian that won a top prize.
Well, there's different divisions.
Yes.
Different people. The grand prize was, can't remember the name, but they were doing pictures of horseshoe crabs.
Okay.
And the one they had was a gold one. It looked like it was metal.
Oh,
It
yeah?
even had a dent in it. Yeah, some pretty cool stuff. So, yeah, you go there and you look at stuff and you go, no, that's not the winner.
Yeah.
And then you look at other ones going, how is that?
How is this?
How's it a third honorable mention? That should have won.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it all depends on who's. Yeah, I mean, being a photographer, I go in there and I look at stuff, and I don't know if my daughter was kind of wary taking me to that one or not.
He's going to be too critical.
Yeah, we didn't get thrown out of the museum, even doing some couple little shenanigan-y thingies there. But no, it was a good time. And then my week went downhill from there.
Yes, I heard some stories.
Yeah, they woke up this morning, or the day we're recording this, and heard this noise in my kitchen. Apparently my sink was leaking. Had to fix that. First thing in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, trying to get out to work.
Yeah.
And I got to fix the sink because it's water everywhere. Anyway, and then at work, I'm health and safety, so we had to run a fire drill. So we ran a fire drill. We have 2 buildings. I called the monitoring company to say, put the buildings on test until...
We're going to set off the alarms.
Set up the fire
put
alarms.
Some test mode.
Let everybody run outside and freeze, and then we'll bring all back in. It says, Serge, you're right. Work better. And she says, not a problem. You have till 4:15 in the afternoon. Awesome. 4:15 in the afternoon, the fire truck shows up because they only put one of our 2 buildings on. Like, you got to be kidding me. So, yeah, fun all around this week.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
And,
art museums and galleries and fire trucks.
Fire trucks. Did you get to sit in a fire truck?
No.
What?
No. I think they're afraid I was going to steal it. Hey, no. You can leave the keys there, buddy. Come on, Mr. Fireman guy. Just leave the keys there. Trust me.
I heard that. What is it? Is it Hamilton, Mississauga? Somebody in the GTA or near the GTA, they got themselves an electric fire truck.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll be there in a couple hours. We're just boosting it up.
We're charging the batteries.
We're charging it at the local
mall.
But
they never go very far, right? So it's easy enough. It's not like you need I don't imagine they go through too much gas unless you have a lot of fires.
But does the pumping equipment and all that not run? I guess that would run separately, right?
I imagine because it's an emergency vehicle, they would probably have a backup generator to run the pumps. But the chassis itself, the rolling gear would have just
the thing that makes the wheels go.
Yes, so that would probably have a big battery pack.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, it should, like, if you can go hundreds of kilometers on a normal charge on a vehicle, you only, because a fire truck is going to have their jurisdiction, they're only going to go like maximum 50K.
Yeah, but they're heavy too.
They are very heavy. Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I've never really... Everybody loves fire trucks.
Oh, yeah.
But have you ever looked at how they work?
Well, yeah.
Yeah?
What do you mean?
Like how all the internal stuff works on...
Well, they get
like
pumps.
all the pumps and all the hoses and hookups and what goes where. Is there piping inside?
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff.
I've seen that.
Have you? Well,
yeah.
You're around fire trucks.
Yeah.
Because you start fires.
I don't start fires. But we get our own fire team at work.
Yeah.
We have our own fire trucks at work. And
Which you steal.
No, they wouldn't even let me drive them.
Smart people.
License for it.
I still say you should go up to them and say, listen, it's lunch hour. There's nobody around.
Can I take it for a burn?
Point it down the long parkway here, the driveway. And I'm just going to take it from here.
Yeah.
And you can sit right next to me if you want. And just let me drive it to the other end. And then you can switch seats. You can turn it around and drive back. I just want to drive it 50 feet.
I'm going to go for a burger. I'm going to go into town.
Right? What do you mean this doesn't fit in drive-thru?
Oh, yeah. It would not. I just took out the ordering billboard.
Oh, good time. No, it's been a busy week, that's for sure. And
But your water's fixed. Your house is not leaking anymore.
My house isn't leaking. All my water works again.
Yeah.
The firemen have forgiven us. The alarm company
needs to be fired.
They just may well be. We have a meeting with them in a couple of weeks. Anyway, all's good. And I can't wait till summer. So I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to say why.
Oh.
But there's an event that might happen. I don't know if an event is the word. Something might happen that will mean we have to drive to the Paw. I always knew growing up as Le Paw, Manitoba.
Really?
Which is the Saskatchewan River is right there.
The Red River?
No, the Saskatchewan. Or the Red River's farther south in
Winnipeg,
Brandon
Manitoba.
and Winnipeg.
Yeah.
This is northwest of Lake Winnipeg.
So you're going to tell me that, but you're not going to tell me why.
Not going to tell you why.
Okay.
But it may involve at some point canoe trips up on the Saskatchewan River.
Oh, yeah?
In northern Manitoba and Saskatchewan, where all the lakes and everything start.
Similar to the Brigade?
Similar.
Is it the Brigade?
No, this is totally personal. Totally personal. But, yeah.
So why bring it up if you're not going to tell me what it is?
Just to torture you. Because if I've been having a crappy week, I'm dragging you down with me. And because we're still drinking this beer.
The fake beer.
The fake beer.
Yeah.
Last week?
Yes. Next week we can have a normal beer.
Oh, yeah. I had normal beer before I came here. I hide it from you.
Yeah. I got Siobhan to try the fake whiskey and the fake Captain
Rum?
Morgan's spiced rum.
And?
Yeah, I think it's going to expire before
Anybody finishes it?
The only reason I say I think I could use it is take it to a party and pretend to hammer it back in front of people and see if anybody gets, what's going on?
I'd say you got to use it as a mix. That's the only way you're getting rid of it. Or forgetting it conveniently accidentally at somebody's house.
I think it's useful as a prank at this point.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're just going to dump it down the drain. Like the Captain's Morgan stuff doesn't taste too bad. But the whiskey stuff, fake whiskey is not
What's your
good.
kid to walk into school with?
I can put it in my lunch bag and take it to work.
Right? Because technically, you're not drinking alcohol at work.
Exactly.
Leaning out at the donut shop, talking to the cops. Hey, officer, how you doing today? Guys got some mighty fine donuts there. Yeah, this is whiskey.
Yeah.
Go well. Anyway, canoeing.
Yes.
Let's talk canoeing. I actually came across this one because Stephen Coots is our polling guru.
Yes.
Canoe polling guru. Mokoro canoes, a traditional canoe or dugout boat used in the African region of the Okavango Delta, particularly in Botswana. The term Mokoro specifically refers to the boats used by the local people known as Baye and Baye people. These canoes are an essential mode of transportation in the waterways of the Okavango Delta. Came across this, and I'm thinking, this is just canoe polling in shallow waters in a delta, and you get to see stuff.
And you're in a dugout canoe.
Right? Traditionally, Mokoros were carved out of trunks of large trees, usually the sausage tree, which I didn't know there was such a thing called a sausage tree.
I've heard of the ebony.
Or
trees.
the ebony tree, yes. Modern Mokoros are often made from more readily available materials such as fiberglass. They're typically
What tree does that grow from?
The fiberglass tree. I think it's fibergrass. They're typically long and narrow with a shallow draft, allowing them to navigate through the shallow waters, reeds, and lily pads of the delta. Like, one of these would go good for fishing.
Yeah.
Where bass fishermen can't get to in their big boats. Mokoros are traditionally propelled by standing at the rear of the boat and using a pole to push against the riverbed. This method is used to navigate through the winding channels of the delta, avoiding submerged obstacles and plants. The boatmen, known as polers, have exceptional skill in handling the Mokoro and can maneuver through the water with ease. Mokoros are widely used for various purposes, including transportation, fishing, and wildlife viewing. I watched a couple little videos of this, and realistically, it reminds me of the thingies in Venice.
Yes,
what are those
that's
people
what the
called?
first thing.
Gondoliers.
Gondoliers.
That's it.
Yeah.
I knew once I asked the question, I would know the answer because it's all up there. It's just dragging it forward, right? They provide a peaceful and non-intrusive way to experience the Okavango Delta safari, or They provide a peaceful and non-intrusive way to experience a Okavango Delta safari, allowing visitors to get up close to the diverse ecosystems and observe the wildlife in their natural habitats. It's worth noting that the use of Mokoros is a sustainable and eco-friendly way to experience the Delta, as the boats have minimal impact on the environment and contribute to their preservation of this unique ecosystem. This is more for the people that aren't looking out to see the big trophy animals like the giraffes and lions and elephants and stuff like that, right? History of the Mokoro dates back many centuries and is closely intertwined with the indigenous people and the waterways in Botswana. The Baye people, who are believed to have migrated to the Okavango region from Central Africa around 2,000 years ago. These communities have relied on the Delta's resources for their livelihoods, and the Mokoro became an integral part of their daily lives. Originally, they were handcrafted from large trunks, as we say. The indigenous people would select suitable trees, such as the sausage and ebony trees, and skillfully hollow out trunks to create the canoe-like boats. Traditional construction method required great expertise in carving and shaping wood. And this goes back to people doing this all around the world that had no clue other people were doing the exact same thing. Mokoro's design has evolved over time. Initially, they were relatively short and wide, providing stability for navigating the narrow channels and avoiding capsizing. However, with the introduction of fiberglass in more recent times, modern Mokoros have become longer and narrower, allowing for better maneuverability.
How is longer more maneuverable?
I don't know. I guess because you stand at the back and the front end goes up and you just...
Sure.
That's my theory. The traditional... Well, fiberglass would also be a lot lighter than some of the big wood trees, right? Traditional use of Mokoros was primarily for transportation, and there is quite the extensive network of waterways in the Delta. And over the years, Mokoros have also been utilized for the fishing, providing a quiet, unobtrusive method to approach fish in the shallow waters. Additionally, they have become popular among tourists as a unique and eco-friendly means of exploring the Delta and observing its abundant wildlife. Mokoro holds cultural significance for the indigenous communities. It represents a connection to their ancestral heritage, reflecting their deep understanding of the waterways and their harmonious relationship with nature. In recent years, the sustainable use of Mokoros have gained recognition, promoting responsible tourism practices that support local communities and contribute to the preservation of the Okavango Delta's fragile ecosystem.
Cool.
Because you don't want people zipping through there in boats and all that sort of stuff. You're just going to rip stuff out and destroy the
wildlife.
There, right?
And you ever hear the term Taurons?
Taurons?
Taurons.
No.
It's a combination of tourists and morons. I follow a bunch of these things on for national parks in the States and stuff, and they call a bunch of these people Taurons because they try to get selfies with a black bear or an elk, and they get up really close to these wild animals. And so talking about these guys going through the reeds and the whatever, looking at the wildlife and everything. There's too many people that think, it's
Yogi Bear.
Yeah, it's like it's not a zoo. That bear's going to eat you. You're like, don't be an idiot.
I call them Darwin Award winner wannabes.
Yes. Yeah. Anyways,
they should be allowed just to say, "Okay, no, don't stop them. Don't tell them. They'll figure it out. Don't say anything."
Yeah. We'll alert the authorities once you
slap it on the ass. Oh, look at him run! I never knew Phil could run like that. Run the other way, Phil.
Yeah. Too many people, I don't know. Why would you want to try and get a selfie with a bear?
I don't know. But unless he's on the other side of a cage or something.
Exactly. On the other side of glass or something.
Yeah. He can stay over there. He can stay on his side of the forest.
Yeah.
So there's a whole thing, Mokoro safaris that are happening, a big touristy thing where you go to one of these companies and they'll take you out, like single or a couple people in one of these Mokoros, and they'll zip you through, and guide will tell you, okay, well, here's what this is, and here's what these plants are, and if you look at those birds over there and see the turtles and all that sort of stuff, right? It's becoming a big thing over there. So they give 6 reasons why you should try a Mokoro safari. So if there's anybody heading over to Botswana area and are looking for something different than, like I said,
different than your typical Jeep, or you're in a Land Rover and you're going through and looking for giraffes and elephants. That's the first thing I think of when somebody tells me they're heading to Africa. Yeah, I'm going on
a
safari.
Big old safari, right? Well, try this one instead, or as part of. Going on a Mokoro safari offers a range of special and unique experiences that set it apart from other safari activities. Here are some aspects that make the Mokoro safari special. 1, intimate and peaceful. You're not looking to be eaten like something.
Well, there's piranhas and alligators and crocodiles and there's water hazards.
You're not looking to get stomped by an elephant.
Sure.
Attacked by leopards and have you seen the Jeeps where the leopards jump on top and just lay down?
I know.
Right?
You can tell they see too many people.
Yeah. Mokoros are propelled silently through the water, allowing you to experience the delta's serene and tranquil environment. The absence of noisy engines creates a peaceful atmosphere, enabling you to immerse yourself in the sights and sounds of nature without disturbances.
Yeah,
that's true, because you're going to hear all the bugs and everything, right?
Yeah.
You're going to hear that alligator sneaking up on you. So that's why they don't do it anymore. Close encounters with wildlife. The shallow draft of the Mokoro enables you to navigate through narrow channels, get a close-up of wildlife. You can quietly approach animals such as elephants, hippos, and birds without causing disturbance or intruding upon their natural behavior. It offers a unique opportunity to observe wildlife from a different perspective and capture remarkable photographs. So you're not seeing them all from the ground. The hippos I'd be wary of because they're fast.
Yes.
They kill a ton of people a year.
I know, right? And I've never seen anything in person, and so I think it would be very interesting to see something like that. But it makes me wonder, if you're on a safari and you're viewing this wildlife, because I'm used to soundtracks. Like, when there's no scary, evil music playing, is it really dangerous? Is that why people get selfies with bears? Because they don't hear that
Is that why
scary
the Australian
soundtrack?
people like going out in the water because they're not hearing doo-doo?
Exactly. Like every piranha movie you've ever seen, it's like you hear that scary music and the squealing and the fish squealing through the water. It's like,
apparently they don't really squeal like that.
I know.
Yeah. I think Hollywood's been lying to us. Just my opinion. Hollywood is not always truthful, I'm thinking.
I'm disappointed. I'm going to die silently. There's no soundtrack.
The only soundtrack is you screaming. Minimal environmental impact. And this is the big thing. I mean, the ecotourism and all that's, been building and building and building. Mokoros are traditionally made from natural materials or modern fiberglass, both of which have minimal impact on the environment. By choosing a Mokoro safari, you contribute to the conservation efforts of the Okavanga Delta, as these traditional canoes have low carbon footprint and help maintain the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Expert local guides. Mokoro safaris are typically led by experienced local guides who possess an in-depth understanding of the delta's flora, fauna, and waterway. And that's the thing. You want to look at you're going over there and seeing stuff you've never seen before. And you're going to have look at that flower. Look at that. What is that one? You want somebody that's going to point out all this stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
To you,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's like me on a normal canoe trip. It's like, I see stuff, but I don't know what it is.
Hey, let me touch that.
I saw 50 different types of mushrooms. I don't know what any of them are. I know they're all edible at least once.
At least once. They share their knowledge about the region, identifying various bird species, animal tracks, providing insights into the ecosystem. Their expertise enhances the safari experience, making it educational and informative. Unique perspective on the Delta.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, exploring the Delta in a Mokoro offers a distinctive vantage point. Being closer to the water surface provides a different viewpoint of the surrounding landscapes, allowing you to appreciate the intricate details of the Delta waterways, vegetation, and the interplay between land and water. Because you're basically, it's like an open I mean, you're basically sitting on the bottom of a canoe.
Yeah.
Right?
So you're at water level.
Yeah. You're seeing all this stuff
in
right
your
there.
environment.
If you're coming across an elephant, you're looking up at him, not,
Yes.
straight at,
Yeah.
you're looking at his toes, not, his chest.
Exactly.
Sort of thing. You're seeing all this extra stuff that you're not necessarily going to see if you're on a regular safari, right? Sustainable and responsible tourism. Mokoro safaris align with sustainable and responsible tourism practices. They promote eco-friendly travel, support local communities, and contribute to the conservation of the Okavango Delta. By choosing a Mokoro safari, you actively participate in a tourism model that prioritizes the preservation of the environment and the well-being of local communities. A Mokoro safari. Combination of peaceful exploration, up-close wildlife encounters, a minimal environmental impact, knowledgeable guides, and a unique perspective makes going on a Mokoro safari a truly special and memorable experience in the Okavango Delta.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Some people would say, well, you shouldn't be in these environments, yada, 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 but we are our environment. I don't know. I don't kind of take along a lot of.
You got to be with the environment, not against it.
Yes.
I would rather see people taking these Mokoros out and giving people guided trips and informing them than the same people having to make a living and poaching an elephant.
And poaching elephants and
right?
poaching,
They have to survive over there. They're limited, and I'd rather be doing this than hearing, we lost more rhinos today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So now there is another thing. The Mokoro polars are traditionally men, and there's actually a couple women now. There was an article about this one woman who's doing this now, and women are starting to step into the role as well, which is pretty cool. It is.
So you're seeing the modernization of multiple societies, right?
Well, you have to, because not. I mean, if it's tourism that's growing, ecotourism, and more people are going to go over there, and then not everybody wants to do the big safari. Some people want to do something different, and this is an option. Yeah, and it's dragging, or luring, I guess, tourists across. Then everybody should jump into it and give a hand and build that business.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. So if you're heading over to Africa, check this out. Something a bit different. A little bit closer to home, let's talk about cops and robbers again.
This keeps coming up with watercraft.
This just keeps coming up. Watercrafts are so reliable, flexible, anything you need it to be. A man threatened to kill his ex-girlfriend and her boyfriend, and tracking the man down took Michigan authorities into a swamp in the middle of the night. Eaton County Dispatch received a 2 a.m. 911 call, according to the Michigan State Police, and police located the man fleeing into the Thornapple River using a K-9 unit and the Eaton County Drone Unit.
They have drone units. Yeah. It makes sense.
I guess. Responding officers used a canoe to catch the man in the river near Vermontville, which is 110 miles west of Detroit. Took him into custody. He was taken to the hospital and treated for hypothermia. Really? In January? In a river? Imagine that.
In Michigan.
Oh, and intoxication.
Oh, yes.
Well, wouldn't the alcohol and the blood act like a antifreeze?
It's
Isn't
the opposite.
that a theory?
It's the opposite. Doesn't let your veins and whatever shrink or dilate as they need to maintain body temperature.
That was worth that. Then why do St. Bernards always carry whiskey in that little barrel on their neck?
There's a lot of things there from the old days.
Hollywood has just lied to me my entire life.
Yeah.
And cartoons. Bugs Bunny lied.
Yeah.
He was booked in Eaton County Jail on Sunday after he was released from hospital. Man charged with resisting and obstructing police, reckless driving, and open intoxicants in a motor vehicle. They didn't say anything about a motor vehicle. This is all canoeing.
Do you think they put red and blue lights on that canoe when they paddled out?
I would hope so. And the cop at the front.
Wee woo, wee woo, wee. Louder, Frank. Wee woo, wee woo, wee.
That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? He's yelling wee woo and he's got a red and a blue light and he's just flipping them on and off. Guys running through the bush in the river. There's the popo.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Oh, that's fun. Some news from the International Canoe Federation Canoe Marathon World Cup is happening. This beer tastes like fruit, like one of those sours.
Yes, it is unusual.
I think that's the only thing saving it.
This is a Sober Carpenter Blonde Ale. You know, I was really, I was expecting non-alcoholic beer to be cheaper.
Yeah.
These are not cheaper.
No.
So,
Are you doing dry January again next year?
I just won't. Yeah, but I just won't drink anything. I'm not going to buy expensive fake beer.
Chocolate milk every Tuesday night.
Milk. That'll help me sleep.
Oh, won't it? All righty. Yeah, we're going to have espressos all night long. A mixed relay comprising of senior and junior paddlers is set to feature for the first time at this year's International Canoe Federation Canoe Marathon World Cup in Brandenburg, Germany. This sounds pretty good. First, I was thinking like an older person in the back and a younger person up front, but that's not it. The ICF Canoe Marathon Committee discussed the introduction of the innovative race as a demonstration event when they came together for a meeting in January in Budapest, Hungary. The K1 4-lap relay, set to include teams featuring one senior male, one junior male, one senior female, one junior female. Under the plans being considered, each paddler will do a lap and a portage before handing over to their teammate. Teams will be able to select paddlers in any order, meaning juniors from some countries could go up against seniors from other nations during the race. So if your junior starts and somebody else's senior starts.
So it's a 4-person team.
No, I think it's just one. So there's men's and women's, I'm thinking.
Mixed junior senior races. So you're instead of a baton, you're handing off a
canoe,
a K1 canoe.
Yeah. Relay is scheduled to be tested in Brandenburg when it hosts the ICF Canoe Marathon World Cup June 1st and 2nd of this year, with a view to the race potentially being introduced at the World Championships in the future, which that's just a hop, skip, and a jump from the Olympics after that, right? Importantly, the relay should be tested at a World Cup race, and testing at a World Championships is not our preference, says the chair of the ICF Canoe Marathon Committee. In any case, we hope that the sea boats can also be part of the relay, but the number of sea paddlers and countries is low, which does not make it easy to organize relay races with them at the moment. We'll try the relay at the World Cup in Brandenburg in June. I want to test this over the next 2 years, and then in 2026, we will want to do it at the World Championships. Well, you got to do that. You got to test it out for a couple of years first to make sure there's enough interest in it before going huge with it, right?
Yeah.
This year, we will start with the K1, senior men K1, junior men K1, senior women K1, and junior women K1. So 4 boats. We're looking at how we can do it in a safe way, as it would be quite dangerous with the changing of the boats on the portage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it sounds like everybody's got their own boat. One person paddles and then portages, and the other person jumps into their own boat, paddles, and portages.
I'm trying to fix... So it's a mixed junior-senior race.
Mm-hmm.
Is it...
I don't think it's 4 boats per team.
What's the mix? Oh, I think it's just
junior and senior. Junior and senior. Yeah.
So it's not necessarily mixed male-female. It's mixed junior-senior, or is it a 4-person team with 2 senior?
Yeah. It's hard to...
I'm trying to pull the details out of this.
We're working on how we can do it in a safe way. Like I say, it will be 1 lap, 1 portage, and then change. It's the first test, and then maybe next time we'll do it differently. If you never test, you never know. The idea to mix with the junior and seniors is good for team atmosphere. See, sometimes it seems like it's just going to be men's and women's, and then it looks like there's 4 people on the team.
Mm-hmm.
2-day meeting was hosted by the Hungarian Canoe Federation. The ICF World Marathon Committee also discussed the possibility of reducing the length of the long lap distance races from 3.6 kilometers to 3 kilometers, and potentially even shorter at the World Championships in 2025. Other topics discussed at the meeting included the selection of international technical officials for the World Championships and World Cups, future strategy for canoe marathon, qualification rules for the World Games 2025 in Chengdu, China, and the rest of the surveys on the 2023 ICF Masters Canoe Marathon World Championships, team leaders in Denmark, as well as plans for Para Canoe Marathon. For the para events that have been paddled as demonstration races at World Championships for 2 years, the rules for both marathon and para are now being adjusted to make it a real World Championship in 2025. This is what we as marathon are striving for, so we are giving para athletes who like to paddle long distances the chance to compete in marathon events and win a medal at the World Championships. So yeah, like I say, sometimes it seems, from the things I saw, it seems like it's just the two people on a team. And then when you start reading other bits, it seems like it's 4 people on a team. 2 seniors and 2 juniors.
Yeah. I'm trying to find more details on it, but
yeah, they're not. There wasn't a ton of them. This is right from the ICF page itself. This is what they gave out. So anyway, we'll have to see what happens there, and it's a good thing. It's a good learning experience for the juniors, that's for sure. Get to know, a little bit, and hopefully it starts keeping the interest up and dragging more people into it. You never know. You used to live out in BC. Where did you live? Victoria? Vancouver?
Vancouver Island. I was in Souk, which is up island from Victoria.
Did you ever go to Okanagan Lake in BC?
That's quite a ways inland on the mainland.
Is it?
Yeah, Lake Okanagan. Oh, that's Opie, or they call it Opie? The
Ogopogo.
Ogopogo.
Ogopogo. Yes. El Nahuelito.
Okay. I love your accent.
You like that? A pair of kayakers in Argentina captured remarkable footage of a mysterious creature that they encountered at a location that is said to be the home of the country's resident lake monster known as El Nahuelito.
Did you see video? I want to see video.
You really couldn't tell. It just goes along the whole lines of the Loch Ness. And according to a local media report, the strange incident occurred past Sunday evening when 2 witnesses ventured out onto Lake Huapi in their boats. I'm sure I just butchered that. Shortly into the excursion, the duo was stunned to see something unusual emerge from the water a short distance away from them. It was Sasquatch on a whale. We stayed away because we didn't know what it was, because that's how horror movies start.
Exactly.
One of the witnesses, named Miguel, recalled, but it was something big that was moving forward. While the pair were understandably astounded by what they were watching, and it was like sunset.
Did they say what year? Is this
recent? Year? This is recent. Yeah. It was like the part of sunset where it starts to get really dark. The part where Mom's saying, "Why are you still out on the water?" While the pair were understandably astounded by what they were watching, they thankfully had the wherewithal to film the eerie anomaly, and the footage has since gone viral on social media in Argentina. Given the location of the encounter, the 2 men immediately wondered if the creature could have been the legendary El Nahuelito, though conceded that its true nature remains a mystery. "I don't know what it was. I can't pinpoint it, but it was pretty big," Miguel says, describing the sighting as an awesome experience. He also dismissed the possibility that the monster was merely a wave by noting that the water was calm everywhere else besides where the oddity surfaced. Dun, dun, dun. And I bet you there was no scary music either.
There's no scary soundtrack.
Right? Their encounter ultimately concluded when the creature dove back down into the water and vanished from sight. I don't think it's very weird what happened, Miguel mused. There may be strange things underwater that you never know. Well, yeah. The timing of the kayaker sighting is rather fortuitous, as it occurred the same weekend as the launch of a new walking tour that celebrates the Nahuelito and its influence on Argentine culture, since it was put on the proverbial cryptozoological map over a century ago.
What a coincidence.
It was a submarine.
I can't find any recent videos on YouTube. Everything is like 8 or 10 years old.
I'll find it and we'll throw it up on our social media. I'll send it to you. So this goes along the lines of Nessie from Loch Ness, Ogopogo from Okanagan Lake, Lariosoro in Lake Como, Italy, the Mishipichu in Lake Superior, and there's like a good dozen or so more of these throughout the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's tons, eh? It's a little ridiculous. And
but
it's not just water creatures, there's land creatures.
Well, there's only... Well, no, I guess there is more. There's Yeti, the abominable snowman. Yeah. There's Sam Squatch.
Yeah.
There's the Wendigo.
Mm-hmm.
Who else am I missing on land?
What is the one in Mexico?
Chupacabra. Chupacabra. Yeah.
But there's more. I know there's more.
Yeah, but no one can ever seem to get a good picture
I
of
know.
It was dark, but here's that ripple in the water.
Yes.
I got my suspicions. El Nahuelito. On to something more
reasonable?
I don't think so. 5 reasons inflatable kayaks are more practical, they say.
More practical? What do you mean more
practical than a regular kayak?
Well, I'm on the edge of my seat. Tell me more.
Tell me more. Kayaking is an exciting way to explore the beauty of nature, offering both serenity and adventure. Inflatable kayaks in particular have gained popularity for their versatile ease of use, making them ideal for diverse water conditions.
I think they're good because you can put them away in a closet.
Right. Among the many options available, inflatable kayaks stand out for their unique benefits, accommodating different skill levels and environments. They are not just leisurely choice, but a practical one too, perfect for those seeking adventure with minimal hassle. That's kind of a dangerous thing to say.
Yeah.
Whether you're a seasoned paddler or a beginner, understanding the advantages of inflatable kayaks can significantly enhance your experience on the water. Their adaptability to various water conditions makes them a superior choice for many, and their increasing popularity is a testament to their versatility. No, their increasing popularity is because they're cheap. Go to Costco. Go to a big sports store. You can get them cheap. Do you want to go spend $4,000 on some high-grade sea touring kayak? Or do you want to go spend $200 on a inflatable jobby you go down and just hook your bike pump up to?
Yeah. If you're going to do a drink and float thing, then maybe that's handy, but...
There's so many people that I know bought inflatable kayaks, and afterwards they're going, what a crap. Inflatable kayak durability. Contrary to popular belief, high-quality line of inflatable kayaks are incredibly durable.
Are they?
High-quality line of inflatable kayak.
Okay, sure.
If it's a high-quality line, I would expect it to be so.
Exactly, yeah.
They are often made with robust materials that can withstand bumps against rocks or other obstacles, making them suitable for adventurous expeditions.
Well, yeah. To fly into a remote area, and it's so with the rules with planes and stuff, if you want to get into a remote area and you want to bring, say, 4 of you can bring 4 inflatable kayaks, and the plane is okay with it because they're in a duffel bag, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you got a canoe or something going up north somewhere, it's like one canoe on the hanging off the float, and you can't bring two.
Right. This toughness is essential for navigating rough waters and ensures that your kayak remains a reliable companion on all your journeys. P.S. Pack patches.
Yeah.
The resilience makes them ideal for various water conditions, from calm lakes to more challenging rivers, giving paddlers peace of mind. Of course, it's important to choose a high quality to ensure longevity and safety on the water. Best models are designed to resist punctures and UV damage, ensuring years of reliable use and maintaining their appearance and functionality over time. Yeah, if I'm going to be doing that sort of stuff, it's going to have to be high quality. But if you're, like I say, if you're starting to spend a ton of cash,
Yeah.
there's going to come that break point where, forget it, I'm not buying an inflatable. Convenient and easy to transport. That is 100% yes. One of the most significant advantages of an inflatable kayak is its portability. Unlike traditional kayaks, these can easily be deflated, folded, and transported, revolutionizing the way we think about kayaking trips. This means that you can take them anywhere in your car trunk or even as checked luggage on a plane, making distant waterways accessible. Take a little bit of clothes unless you got a lot of money for that extra bag.
Yeah.
For city dwellers or those with limited storage space, this is a game changer as it eliminates the need for bulky transportation setups. Yeah, and you don't need to be renting a storage unit.
Yes. Yeah, if you live in the inner city, if you live in a condo downtown, whatever city, Detroit, Toronto, whatever, you get, if you want to be able to store your watercraft without worrying about it getting lost, you can stick it in a closet.
Yeah. Easy storage thanks to deflation.
Well, I just talked about that.
Yeah. Inflatable kayaks solve the problem of storage space that comes with regular kayaks. When deflated, they can be stored in small spaces like a closet, the corner of your garage, making them perfect for urban settings.
Absolutely.
If I've got a garage, I'm getting a full-size kayak.
Oh yeah, well it depends on your situation, right? If you live in a 750 square foot condo.
Yeah. Well, no, this
on the
just
30th
says,
floor.
This just says,
Yeah,
in the corner of your garage.
But if you do have a property with a garage, then...
Yeah, I'm just getting something big.
Yeah.
Strap it to the side of the garage. Compactness is a major advantage for urban adventurers. And they talk about, it's really great for people living in apartments or homes without extensive storage. Yeah. But I mean, that goes the same with stand-up paddleboards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Inflatable stand-up paddleboards, not just kayaks, right? Stability and safety. Inflatable kayaks offer excellent stability.
Well,
I have to disagree on that one, Bob. Depends which one you get.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to stipulate, because some of them they're very wide-bodied. Some of these inflatable kayaks, so they do have a certain degree of stability.
Yeah,
but that's depends on the style and the model, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for something that's stable, you can go get yourself like a Pungo or something like a Rotomold, almost the same price as a high quality. Mm-hmm. Crucial for beginners or those paddling in choppy waters. Their design often includes wider bases, which makes them less likely to tip over, providing a secure and stable platform for all types of kayakers. Nobody I know that has a inflatable kayak takes them out into big waves.
Yeah, they're not meant for that.
No. Wider base also aids in easier maneuverability, allowing for more enjoyable paddling experience. This whole paragraph just sort of gives unrealistic safety view.
Exactly.
In my opinion.
You have to be careful when you write stuff like this, because you don't know who's going to read it.
Yeah.
So somebody with not enough experience or knowledge might read it and think, oh, this is the safe way to go. Then, you're risky.
Yeah.
people.
Nothing's 100% stable and safe.
No.
Affordability, when it comes to cost, inflatable kayaks are generally more affordable than their traditional counterpart. Yes.
Yeah.
This makes them an excellent option for those just getting into the sport or for families looking for an economical way to enjoy water activities together. Lower cost also makes it feasible to own multiple kayaks for group outings, expanding the possibility for family and group adventures. Then why don't you just buy a canoe at that point?
Yeah.
All comes back to canoeing. In addition to the lower initial cost, the lack of storage and transportation requirements also saves money in the long run. Moreover, the reduced need for accessories like roof racks and kayak trailers add to the overall savings, making kayaking a more accessible sport for a wider audience. I don't know. This just sounds like a whole lot of propaganda for the kayak community.
Yes. We're going to get some sales.
Yeah. Kayaking is not just a pastime, but an adventure that brings you closer to nature. Inflatable kayaks, with their ease of transport, storage convenience, durability, stability, and affordability, offer practical solutions for both beginners and experienced paddlers. They allow you to explore new waters, create memorable experiences without the hassle and expense of traditional kayaks. Flexibility and freedom they provide are unmatched, opening up new possibilities for exploration and enjoyment. So why not consider an inflatable kayak for your next water adventure?
I think you really have to wait. I think
you got to do your research before.
Yeah.
You can't take all this verbatim for
No.
You know, as absolute 100%. What? But they said it's stable and safe. I shouldn't fall over.
And the risk with social media these days, people think they are more capable of doing. People make things look easy when they do their videos and stuff, but then other people go out there, I can do that, and get themselves in trouble.
That's 100% easy. Yeah.
It
looked easier.
I saw a video the other day. It was 4 people, 2 guys, 2 girls. They're all on inflatable boats. They all had wetsuits on, and they had headlamps on, and they were jumping on their inflatable boats and going in through this drainage tunnel. And
you don't know what's in there.
No. All 4 boats popped. Some of them lost their headlamps. One of the guys got fetched up in a tree at the exit of the tunnel. They were in the tunnel. They said there for a couple minutes because it was a long tunnel. And so they had their wetsuits were ripped open. They had scuffed knees, scuffed hands. One guy almost drowned because he got caught on a log for almost a whole minute underwater. And it's like, why did you guys think this was a good idea?
I read it on the internet.
Well, they said they had seen other people do the tunnel. But I don't know if they...
You gotta know what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's just a case of hold my beer and watch this.
Exactly.
How much money did they lose on that little venture?
Tunnel. Yeah, well, they popped all 4 boats, right?
Right? Maybe they weren't high quality.
They were not high. You could see from the video there was not high quality boats.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Like, I think they have their place. Definitely think they got their place. I fully agree with the transportation, storage, lower cost, that sort of stuff. When it comes to inflatable kayaks, I'm still very wary of taking them on big adventures.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's more of a, we're going out on the lake for the day, sort of thing. Or we're going to the cottage, or we're going camping and we're taking it to go out on the lake sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going on a 5-day canoe trip. But I say the same thing with the Oro kayak and canoes, right? The foldable ones.
Those are different.
I still, even those, like, I'm not taking those. And you can take those anywhere. No, you really can't take them anywhere. Mm-hmm. You got to do your research. You got to know where you're going, the environment you're taking these things to. Yeah. Maybe it'll be perfect. Maybe you'll be swimming.
And how often do we see stories of somebody in some sort of inflatable watercraft? Because these things are so light, they catch the wind. And so you hear about, Coast Guard rescuing somebody 5 miles out to sea because they're floating out with the tide and with the wind and whatever. And
off of Mexico this week. I knew you should mention one of the big brand new, was it HMS or whatever, Jubilee? Mm-hmm. The new Carnival Cruises ship.
Oh, the big one?
Biggity big one,
Yeah.
I guess. Apparently, if you are stranded in your kayak,
I saw.
only one person wearing a life jacket, the other guy with no life jacket, no
I
shoes.
saw that. Yeah. It wasn't the big one, but it was just one of the Carnival cruises.
As they say, it's a new one.
Yeah.
It's their newest ship, the Jolly or Joy something. Anyway, they saw this kayak down there, thought they were having to realize, nope, they're in trouble.
Because their main boat, whatever boat they were on, sank, and their recreational kayak was strapped onto was what they were.
So that's what they're trying to figure out is what exactly happened.
What's going
Why
on
did it
here?
sink, and where did it sink, and where did you come from?
And what happened to the boat you were smuggling drugs on? And
well, and their standard procedures, if that happens, they automatically call in whatever country's Coast Guard.
Yeah.
So I guess the Mexican Navy showed up and took them and back to port.
What are you guys up to?
Yeah. It's at that point they figured out they should have stayed on the kayak.
Yes. Yeah.
There was no free cruise involved.
Gosh darn it.
Oh, jeez. This is as bad as my friend Phil way up in Michigan. Got caught by the cops. We talked about REI opening 11 new stores between the next couple of years, 2024, 2025.
Yeah.
Hundreds of REI employees have lost their jobs this week as the company announced layoffs in anticipation of lower sales in 2024. And this is sort of boggling our minds. Like, as you said, how can you expand or contract
and expand
at the same time?
We're going to open new stores, but because sales are low, we're going to lay off people.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if you have low sales, why are you building new stores? 10 of them.
11.
With the original stories we saw a week and a half, 2 weeks ago was 11 stores. And when I was reading into this today, I was trying to figure out, okay, you're contracting and expanding. Anyways, what they're saying now is it's 10 stores.
Oh.
So there seems to be a change in the number from the stories from 2 weeks ago to the current stories about
trying
expansion.
to make it look better. We're laying people off it, and we aren't opening 11. We're only opening 10.
Yeah.
Because that's how bad times are.
But they did say that it was mainly head office where they lost.
Yeah,
they're going to go with what do they say? They're very strategic in their saying that we're going to create new team models to run the business from a head office perspective, and we're going to diversify, and we're going to yada 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 yada. So I don't know, and some of the REI stores are unionizing, but they specifically said no, we didn't lay off anybody in a union store. It's like, okay, well, but still, it's a weird story about how they're going to build new stores, but because sales are low, they're going to lay off people. So it's confusing, and I don't know how many stories I read today about this, trying to figure it out, and I couldn't come to a solid conclusion as to what's going on.
Let's build more buildings to sell our stuff and fire people that are going to sell our stuff.
Yeah. We won't have any salespeople, but
all the people that we fired were the cashiers because it's all self checkout now. So they posted a level. Eric Arts, the CEO, posted a letter explaining that the outdoor retail specialty segment had declined throughout 2023, and as a result, company leaders expected that the coming days are going to be tough. To deal with the shortfall, they will lay off 357 employees, including 200 at headquarters, 121 in distribution centers, and 30 from teams that handle REI experience classes and events. Announcement comes just weeks after they said they plan to open 11 new co-ops throughout the country in 2024 and 2025. And that's why we were talking about this before, as they were opening these up, and none were going to be in Canada. Which, the Seattle Times apparently reported that none of the affected workers were part of the company's growing number of unionized employees. I think 8 stores are unionized.
Yeah, 8 or 9. I can't remember the number.
Announcement also comes just a few months after REI laid off 275 employees in an October restructuring initiative. I can't believe they still use those excuses.
Or restructuring.
Yeah.
Everybody uses that, right?
Mm-hmm. REI Union, which now represents employees in 8 of the company's stores, called those ill-conceived changes that underscore the importance of union representation. Regardless of union status, REI should be accountable for all the stores that faced these callous layoffs. All green vests deserve respect for the value we bring to the company, the union said in a statement. Outdoor recreation industry overall continues to grow, reaching $1.1 trillion, according to federal report released at the end of 2023. But specific segments have been able to maintain the momentum, or haven't been able to maintain. As of December 2023, outdoor specialty sales were down 1% at $4.6 billion.
Whoa. Yeah, that's 1%. Mm-hmm. But it's $1 trillion industry.
Right? So we down what we were down 4.6 billion, less fire, like 350.
Well, that's not their sales. That's worldwide.
That's
sales.
worldwide sales.
Yeah.
But it's not a gloomy outlook overall. Outdoor equipment market will likely experience a 6% growth rate from 2024 to 2028. Regardless, Arts said that REI's latest round of layoffs were a financial necessity. The year ahead will require us to make strategic and intentional choices to control the things that we can, he wrote. Many of these choices will be difficult, and they are what we must do to ensure the co-op is healthy for the long term.
I think there's stuff going on in the background that they're just not talking about.
Mm-hmm. Didn't something like this sort of happen with Mech?
So Mech did have to restructure, and now they're not so much a private entity.
No, they're owned now, right?
Yeah.
I was actually there on Saturday.
Oh, yeah? Which one?
The one right downtown Toronto on Queen.
Queen Street. Yeah, it used to be on King.
Yeah, I bought some
couple
jet
blocks
oil
north.
stuff. Jet oil cans. So this will be one of those continuing stories.
It's a continuing
REI,
saga of REI.
Where you got the company trying to push their, we're so hard done by, and the unions trying to push their, join the union.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun,
I've been to an REI. I think it was the Seattle one.
Yeah? I don't think
it was. Anyways, it was
what
was neat. It was such a big building, and one huge portion of the building is like a giant atrium. It had to be like 5 stories high with glass everywhere, and it was just a big climbing tower. Like it was a miniature mountain right in the store.
So you could go there and climb.
Yeah, you could do indoor climbing, rock
Really?
climbing. Yeah, and you could go up, on, I think up to the highest you could watch it from was the 3rd floor, and there was like a balcony you could walk out and stand and look at people climbing up and
Grab a
really
pole
neat.
and knock them off.
Yeah.
It's a new sport.
Throw tomatoes.
Extra extreme physical full contact rock climbing. That'd be awesome.
It was a really neat store though. It was with that huge indoor climbing gym.
I don't think I've ever actually been. Have I? If I did, it wasn't memorable.
Mm-hmm. Did it say?
Oh, I think I was on one of our, when we were down the States. I can't remember because there were so many spots. I think we did go into one of the hockey tournaments we were at.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we stopped because Mackenzie needed a hockey stick.
Did they say how many stores they do have?
Nope. Lots. All across the country, even.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, we'll see what happens, but on one half, you got to see that they're, they got to keep the company alive, but on the other half, who are those people at head office? What did they do?
I know, right?
Woo!
Yeah, we're streamlining.
Apparently they weren't doing it right.
Yeah.
Hey, Phil, how you doing today? Good. Won't see you next week.
Yeah. We're gonna work more efficiently. So we're gonna have 3 people do the job of 5.
Yeah. What happened to those other 2 people? Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Laid off.
Yeah. Just a recap on the shows coming up. February 23rd to 25th, Toronto Outdoor Adventure Show at the Toronto Outdoor International Center.
And
I will be speaking.
Presenting on the Sunday.
On the Sunday at 12. 12.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I have Mike McIntosh of Friends of Tomagami on right after me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm just going purely from memory, I think Camper Christina's after Mike.
She is. She's speaking on the Saturday and the Sunday.
Yeah. So, also Saturday, February 24th, while this is on, you can go to the Wilderness and Canoe Symposium at York University in Toronto, North York. Saturday, March 2nd, Quiet Adventure Symposium in East Lansing, Michigan. We are going to go.
Yep, we'll be there.
And we are going to be playing
with rabbits.
John Denver music all the way down.
Oh, yes.
And Callan will never be the same because I found a whole bunch of heavy metal John Denver.
I'm going to sit in the back seat and put on earphones.
Oh, this is going to be fun. March 8th to 10th, Canoecopia, Madison, Wisconsin, the Alliant Energy Center. Check that one out. Like I said, there's 100 presentations going on all week, or all weekend. Definitely is worth checking it out. Tuesday, March 12th, Paddling Film Festival, Drums and Flats in Ajax.
Us.
That is us. Doors open at 6:30. Go online, get your tickets at Eventbrite now. April 20th, 21st, the Ottawa Outdoor and Adventure Travel Show. I'm going to see if I can get up there. I don't know that I'll be able to this year. And again, unfortunately, no Ontario Backcountry Canoe Symposium.
Yes.
David Bain is missed.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is all I have.
That's all I have.
Oh, and we got... Ooh, this is going to be tricky because we have Family Day weekend in February, and we have the Outdoor Adventure Show in February. I only use a couple weekends to get because it's too dark to go after work, to get my February paddle in.
Yeah.
It's going to be tricky. Yeah. But doable. We'll see. Other than that, I'm just waiting for everything to thaw out and get back out there.
Yeah.
Woohoo! If you want to find out more about us, you can find us at paddlingadventuresradio.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can download or stream our episodes at iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Player FM, and all your favorite podcast downloading sites. Or you can just go to the episode page at paddlingadventuresradio.com and you can stream or download all our episodes there. We are posting our episodes on YouTube now, so you can just go to YouTube, click and listen there. You don't get to see our smiling faces, but maybe I should do that. Just put it every 5 minutes. Put a picture of you in there, just waving, and just 5.
Hello.
And then you'll be holding a little hello in one hand, and then a 5 in the other at the 5 minute mark, then a 10 in the other. Little signs as you go. If you enjoy the podcast, please share it with friends, family, and fellow paddlers. I want to thank everybody for listening this week. I'm Sean Rowley.
And I'm Derek Specht. We'll see you next time.